comes to narcissistic people, with their grandiose facade and their charismatic charm, they can seem to have it all together and they can seem to have it all. However, deep down they have a very fragile ego. Their sense of self-importance and their relentless pursuit of gaining validation and admiration is so easily shattered in certain circumstances, causing a narcissistic injury, which can potentially lead to narcissistic rage and place you in danger around those who lack empathy. When it comes to narcissistic people, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. They're simply looking to get everything their own way, and they lack the empathy to care for how their behaviour affects those around them. So a few things that are going to damage a narcissist's ego and trigger that narcissistic injury, potentially leading to narcissistic rage. And one of the first of these is rejection. Rejection is a major blow to the narcissist's ego, puncturing their delusional perception of reality. Now, rejection isn't something that many people enjoy. Many people kind of internalise and go and work to improve. Many people feel that disappointment when they go for a job and they don't make it. So rejection isn't necessarily a nice thing. And this is when we have to remember we're not rejected. We're redirected to find something that is going to be more beneficial to our lives. With a narcissistic person, another thing that damages their ego is when you have difference of opinion. You can simply just have a difference of opinion to them, and they feel rejected by this because they perceive themselves to be perfect. They can make a mistake in something, and if it is pointed out, they feel like they've been rejected and they take offence and they look to crush you any way they can. The covert narcissist is more likely to go into, well, everybody else thinks. Well, if you think you can do it better, because they're not willing to reflect. They perceive themselves as perfect and everybody else is the one who has the problem, not them. So a narcissist, when it comes to rejection, some of them might just look to secure a new source of supply to punish you. Some might rage out at you. Some might play the victim to gain that sympathetic attention from you. There's various ways they respond to rejection. Another one is when you have a difference of opinion. Narcissistic people believe that they're right. They are arrogant and they believe that they are right, and they will demean and criticise and dismiss all others to prove that they are right. And if they are wrong, they will go all out to play the victim, to claim that other people are attacking them, to get enablers and flying monkeys onto their side. Narcissistic people can't stand people having a different opinion. Again, this hurts their fragile ego. So they can turn around and just say, well, everybody else agrees with me. Well, that's what you think. They're looking to get you back. So if they're looking out of the window and the neighbours are talking, the narcissist might go, oh, look at them, they've fallen out, they're having a big argument, and you might just glance over and think, they're probably just having a conversation. Oh, I knew you'd agree with them. Oh, I knew you'd take their side. And you can think that that's got nothing to do with what we were actually discussing. But because you haven't agreed with them, they are offended. Failure. Not many people like to fail. We have to be reminded in life that failure is our first attempt in learning. And growing up, a lot of kids will mock other children for failure to boost their own egos and to make themselves feel better. Failure is not a pleasant thing. However, with a narcissist, failure undermines their arrogance, that they already know everything, that they can already do everything. They don't need specialised help because they can do it. It doesn't matter that they've not been taught. They don't need to be taught because they're superior. They can turn their hands to anything. And if you point out any mistake, there's going to be hell to pay because you're the one that's in the wrong. The person who taught them that was wrong. The apprentice was wrong. A lack of attention is another one that will damage a narcissist's ego, that indifference. When the spotlight is on somebody else, you'll notice, is when a narcissist will go all out to ruin it for another person. So if somebody has achieved something, a narcissist will mock it or humiliate it or claim that it's no big deal, or talk about something that they have done better. If somebody is celebrating something, a narcissist will go all out to either give the best special occasion ever and expect eternal gratitude and praise for everything they've done, or they will sulk or cause an argument before the event to ruin it for the other person. They're looking to regain control. When the attention is on somebody else, a narcissist looks to scramble to do damage control and get the attention back on themselves. Criticism isn't particularly a nice thing, as most of us know when you've been around a narcissist, and they will mock, humiliate and criticize you at every given opportunity, so you don't think you are worthy or good enough to do anything or be anything. We also have constructive feedback in life, and when you've been criticized by a narcissist, it can be challenging to accept constructive feedback. However, criticism with a narcissist strikes a crucial blow to their ego, as it usually exposes their flaws that they don't want to admit to. So if they've offered to do something for you and it's constructive feedback you give them, they'll be offended and say, I'm sorry, well, if you think you can do it better, go and do it yourself. They take instant offence. So if a boss is trying to explain to a narcissistic worker how something should be done better, the narcissistic worker will blame the person that was sat next to them, because it doesn't compute within their mind that they could be the issue, they could be the problem. Being outshined in some way, whether it's somebody else's talent, somebody else's intellect, somebody else's looks, with their sense of superiority, they can't take the bruise to their ego. They're extremely competitive people. And a narcissist will often create that competitive side within you by comparing you to others to diminish your self-worth and your self-esteem and your confidence, because they're very envious of other people. So they can't stand it when people outshine them. Share good news with them, they've done better. Share bad news with them, they've suffered worse. Betrayal. Nobody takes too kindly to betrayal. It's not nice when somebody deceives you, lies to you, cheats on you. It hurts you, and there's so many emotions to process and get through. With a narcissist, they can just leave their phone and you can glance and see they're messaging somebody that perhaps they shouldn't, and you can go and speak to them about this, and they take it as a betrayal of, well, why have you been through my phone? You shouldn't be looking through my phone. We wouldn't have an issue if you hadn't been so nosy. They take that as a betrayal. When they come to you and they want something from you due to their sense of entitlement, if you say, no, I've already got plans, but maybe next week, they take this as a betrayal. They're offended that you won't drop somebody else to serve them, yet they expect you to drop everybody to serve them, yet they'll not drop anything to serve you. They're not interested in helping and supporting you unless it makes them look good. Betrayal such as a difference of opinion, that's a betrayal to a narcissist, not readily agreeing to them. Not showing them interest because you're ill, you're poorly and you need time to recover, but they want you serving them, they want you giving them the attention, and because you're not capable at that moment in time, they take that as a betrayal and they seek to punish you. A loss of control. Narcissistic people scramble to do damage control when they lose control over somebody else's mind. They believe they're superior, they believe they're better, and they believe that they're special, and everybody should just be so happy that the narcissist wants to be a part of that person's life. And when people no longer react to them, when people walk away from their games, when people have had enough of them, the narcissist takes offense to this. A bit like being laughed at. We all know it's not pleasant to be laughed at. However, more often than not, when we do something silly, most people can laugh at themselves and tell another person to make another person laugh. A narcissist will happily tell other people about your mistakes and the things that you've said or done wrong to try and humiliate you, Yet lo and behold, you try and bring something up the narcissist did, and you're going to get the daggers, and they're going to seek to punish you for daring to speak negatively of them. And exposure really rattles a narcissist's ego to the core. This exposure they take as a great betrayal. They don't see that what they did was wrong. They feel entitled to do as they please. They see you telling people about them as a betrayal and a loss of control over you. So they often seek to punish you to try and regain control. They often go all out to smear your name so that other people doubt your credibility, so that your reputation lays damage while they continue exploiting people and getting their needs met by people. We can all have done things in our past that we won't particularly be proud of, but we've learned and we've grown. We can all have done things in a state of survival that we're not particularly proud of, but we learn and grow and develop from it. And you will often tell a narcissistic person these in the strictest of confidence, and they will use them against you to threaten you, because narcissistic people know the things that hurt them are things that can potentially hurt another person. So they use those things against others because they lack the empathy to care for others. Tell a narcissist something in confidence, they'll go and spread it to those who gossip first, and then when you find out and speak to them, they'll stand there all innocent and say, well, you never told me you didn't want anybody to know, and pass the blame straight over to you. Anything you notice that crushes a narcissist's ego, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support of the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have a couple of books out on Amazon, 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, and a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. I shall link those into the description also if you'd like to go and check them out. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.